Okay, now that you have successfully worked on all of the right hand of Canon 8, we're going to move on to the next step of how to work these canons to develop your ear and to really hear the tune. So as you know, a canon is a round, like Frère Jacques, the song. So there's one song happening and one voice starts, so the right hand starts here, and then a few beats later the left hand comes in with exactly the same voice, but a little bit later. So the trick with a canon is to get those voices sounding as close as they can, sounding like it's two people singing it is what you're after. So we've phrased all the right hand, and we know what the song actually sounds like. So the left hand is going to sound exactly the same, except in this case an octave lower. So now that you have the right hand, we're going to work in sections. So the first section will be this first phrase in the right hand and the identical phrase in the left hand as far as it goes. And I think it is divided up like that in Piano Marvel. So I'm going to play just the first phrase, which you already know. Open this guy up. And it sounds like this. Okay, so go ahead and phrase that, like, make it lovely at the end and shape it. If you want to do a little bit of dynamic in there, you can, but shape it nicely. So again, here it is. And the left hand sounds exactly the same, except you're using different fingers because you have different, your hands are different. They're not identical. So the left hand is the same thing, but just double check to make sure you have the correct fingers. And I want you to just play those two phrases a couple of times during your practice, at the beginning of the practice, before you try it hands together. Make this one sound exactly the same way, just as beautiful. And when you think they sound pretty good, each on their own, then go ahead and put them hands together, and you can check your notes with Piano Marvel if you like. But first we're going to do it very, very slowly, like half of that speed, just to make sure both voices still sound like they're supposed to. So you noticed I finished the whole phrase and I did not start. I didn't start the second phrase here. I just did this phrase to here and this one to here. So at the end of the second bar, I just lifted and I just didn't play the next note. Again, this is what it sounds like. And a really good thing to do is record yourself playing and then listen. Once you have it hands together, that each phrase, record yourself playing and listen to one voice at a time. So listen to the right hand voice and say to yourself, even if it's hands together, does it still sound really, well shaped and lovely? And then listen to the left hand voice as it comes in and say to yourself, was I able to make it sound like the right hand voice sounded? And then when you have that down pat, then go ahead to the second phrase, which starts here in bar 3 and finishes in bar 4, and then here it starts in bar 4 in the left hand and finishes bar 5. So work that phrase the same way. When you have the second phrase joined, then have the first one follow the second. And then you can do it on Piano Marvel to check if you like, or on Prepare is fine. It's all good because there's no rush to get this fast. It's a process. It's important to get it accurate. Okay.